1 out of 82 has been completed for this Miami Heat team, and well, this is an absolute mess. On paper, going into this regular season, we were very optimistic about how this roster is going to be able to compete, not only during the regular season, but then getting later into the playoff run against the East and against teams out West. And last night, against an in-conference, in-division rival, in-state rival, the Miami Heat laid an egg, and it was absolutely disastrous. And I'm here to break it down right now on this episode of Heat Digest. So, a disastrous start to the season. What happened? What went wrong? Who did we play? Well, last night was game 1 out of 82 for this Miami Heat team, and we played against, again, an in-division, in-conference, in-state rival in the Orlando Magic. And in doing so, we got belt to ass. There's no other way to say it. We got our ass handed to us. And I don't have any joy in saying that, but that's exactly what happened. We lost 116-97, and honestly, because of a fourth quarter effort from a bunch of second string guys, this would have looked a hell of a lot worse due to how bad the Miami Heat played in the second half of this basketball game. There's no way around it. Now, in the first half, if you watched up to the first half and went to bed, you would think this game ended in a shootout, in a very close game that ended in back and forth scoring and good defensive efforts on both ends that resulted in 50-50 balls and a lot of hustle plays on both sides. That's not what happened. First half ended, we go to the locker room, we have a ceremony for Pat Riley. As if you guys don't know, last night the court was named after Pat Riley as the Pat Riley Court because he's been such a significant piece to this Miami Heat organization. And honestly, we don't know how much longer he'll be in Miami in a working sense, a part of this franchise. But again, he's been a part of this team for some time, and now he's actually a part of the floor as it's now named after Pat Riley, the Pat Riley Court. So that's very fun and enjoyable, but due to this ceremony that took place at halftime, the halftime was 15 minutes longer than normally, and it went from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So maybe that played a little bit of a factor on this Miami Heat team, but I will say it didn't play any of a factor on the Orlando Magic as they outscored us 39-18 in the third quarter alone. They simply went from being up 4 in this game to being up 30, and it wasn't even close. It felt like the game was flat out over, and there wasn't even going to be a fourth quarter played for this Miami Heat team. That's how defeated some of these guys looked. And let's highlight the box score now to really, really get into it. Now, Jovic didn't play horribly. He was a bit aggressive from the field, which is what we love to see because we need some form of offensive production from someone in this starting lineup. It'll make sense in just a second. 7 of 15 from the field. He shot 1 of 7 from behind the three-point line, only attempted 1 free throw, which he missed, and he provided 15 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block, 1 turnover, and 4 fouls with an even plus-minus. The reason I'm highlighting all of Jovic's actual stat line is it'll make sense in just a second. Jimmy Butler, he played 26 minutes last night, 2 more minutes than Jovic, who we just highlighted. He shot 1 of 8 from the field. He missed both 3-point attempts. He shot 2 free throws. He averaged just over 8 free throws a game last season, and he shot 2 of them last night. He added 3 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, a block, 1 turnover, 1 foul, and a plus-minus of minus 30. Minus 30. Okay, we'll move on to Bam Adebayo. If he's not 1A, he's 1B, just behind Jimmy Butler, right? Well, he added 9 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, no blocks, no steals, no turnovers, and 1 personal foul. So neither of these guys were out due to foul trouble, playing 26 minutes apiece. Shot 1 of 5 from the field, 0 of 2 from behind the three-point line, 7 of 10 from the free throw line, which I will say he shot the majority of those free throws in the first half of this game. I think he shot 6 or 8 of them in the first half. I can double check that, and I'll probably drop it in the description. Okay, and we'll move on to Tyler Hero, who did not have a horrible game. I cannot jump on Tyler Hero. He played better, I think, defensively than he did offensively, but again, that goes both ways, and I'll break that down in just a second. Hero shot 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from behind the three-point line, added 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists with a block, and he had plus-minus of minus 27. Bam Adebayo, by the way, also had a plus-minus of minus 30. Now, for the last starter is Rozier. He shot 5 of 15 from the field. He made all 7 of his free throws, which is great to see, but he did shoot 2 of 7 from behind the three-point line. 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks. It was very interesting. He had those 2 blocks before halftime. He did have 3 turnovers and a plus-minus of minus 14. Overall, not the greatest game from the starting five of this Miami Heat team that, again, we have put so much faith in during the the last four preseason games, excluding the first preseason game against the Charlotte Hornets where Tyler Hero was absent due to a rib injury or abdominal injury. They all returned. They played preseason game 2 through 5, and because of that, they looked very good. It seemed like they were getting their footing, finding a rhythm amongst themselves, and because they were playing the dominant amount of minutes, especially collectively in those preseason games, then they come out here and absolutely lay an egg. I will say the first half was much better than the second half by far and away, but again, definitely just overall not really what we're looking for. I will say Haywood Highsmith played overall a decent game last night. He did have 3 personal fouls and not a lot of time, but again, the defense that required out of Haywood Highsmith in a game where we were reeling. There was no way around it. We needed someone to come in and make a difference. That wasn't the case for Highsmith. I will say Jaquez played a damn good brand of basketball last night, hitting a 3 and getting fouled, going to the line and making the free throw. He finished with 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 turnovers with a plus-minus of -23. Shot 4 of 9 from the field, including making both of his 3-point attempts and shooting 3 of 5 from the free throw line in just 19 minutes. Overall, not a bad performance, but again, being on the floor, getting just run up and down the floor by an Orlando Magic team led by Paolo Banchero, who's going to be a absolute problem not only for this Miami Heat team 4 times a year, but for the entirety of the league. I will say he ended with 33 points, 11 rebounds. I believe it was 3 assists and a block and a steal. Overall, he absolutely killed this Miami Heat team. There was really nothing he could do wrong last night, whether it be on the defensive end or on the offensive end. He can do it in a set half-court offense. He can do it in transition by himself or off of a skip pass. He's phenomenal. And if you can read this graphic, shout out to John Jabloka. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. I love your content on Twitter. If you guys don't follow him, and you guys enjoy basketball stats and Miami Heat basketball, go follow him. He's great at what he does. He's great on Twitter. But he goes, how did the Magic generate so many easy shots? If you look at this, there is a trend. There is a very, very noticeable trend. Paulo is absolutely killing everyone in front of him, and it's specifically little guards. Specifically, Hero and Rozier. Time and time again, going right at him. Obviously, there's Haywood Highsmith is in here a few times. Bam is in here a few times. But please understand, Rozier and Hero are being absolutely manipulated on the defensive end. And again, Paulo is a bit of an outlier. We can't argue against that. He is 6'8", 6'9". He's very athletic, very, very, very versatile in the sense that he can both play the offensive end of the floor as well as not only bring the ball up the floor and facilitate, but he can get to the block, post up, get the ball, make 2 dribbles, spin off of 1 foot, and then get right to the basket and finish. I don't know how many times last night I watched him get downhill with anybody in front of him, whether it be Rozier, Hero, Robinson, Haywood Highsmith, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, a collage of all 3 or 2 or 4 of them. He would get down to that block, and just beforehand, he put his shoulder into their sternum, put the ball on the ground once, spin. He would result right at the cup, and it would either be a dunk or a layup right there, and there's nothing anyone could do about it. Honestly, I think he could average 25 a game on that move alone, and I'm talking about against every team in the NBA. He really put the Miami Heat on notice last night, and if we don't game plan against him for the next 3 games that we play against Orlando Magic, I will be furious. Now, we have to highlight Brady Hawk from Twitter. Once again, another great source of information. He was at the game last night and asked Bam Adebayo about the offense, where Bam said this, and I quote, "For me, I was running the offense. You lose track of the game when you're trying to do the right thing all the time. I feel like that's where me and Jimmy got to come together and figure out how we can be aggressive in the new offense." That's the end of the quote from Bam Adebayo, and we got to slap the expedite button a few times on this. We got to get it going because this isn't going to get the job done. Collectively, 2 of 13 from the field for Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. Again, collectively, that is not going to get it done. I don't care who we're playing. This is not a winning formula. And to go apart with this winning formula, obviously the half-court offense last year was a big problem. And again, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo in this new offense having to be more aggressive with Tyler Hero playing off ball a little bit more is going to be required without a doubt. But I don't care about our offense by a smidge. I don't care what it looks like. because it doesn't matter if the rebounding battle looks like this. We got out-rebounded by 16 in this game, 57-41 in total. But if we look at the offensive rebounding numbers specifically, it may be even considered even worse. 18-9 on the offensive boards alone. This Miami Heat team got doubled their offensive rebounding category by this Orlando Magic team, and it was clear and obvious. Now, I did tell you guys earlier in this video that the first half of this game was very, very competitive. It was very close. And that wasn't a lie, and it's no stretch of the truth. But in that first quarter alone, the offensive rebounding allowed by this Miami Heat team allowed this game to maintain a close feeling. Because this Miami Heat team was playing pretty damn well. We were scoring effectively. It felt like the offense, it wasn't flowing. It wasn't in flow state. It wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't a world-dominating offense by any means. I'm not saying that. But we looked a little bit better than Orlando did. But because of the inability to stop the possession overall. Yes, the defense is good. Yes, we're causing misses. But what happens when the ball comes off the rim or off the glass? And they're able to then get another shot opportunity. What do we do then? They ended up having 14 more shot opportunities in the game collectively, shooting 41 of 96 as we shot 32 of 82 from the field. Overall, just not going to get the job done. It is not going to happen. I don't care if we play Orlando. I don't care if we play the JV team from down the street. If we lose the rebounding battle by 16, it's not going to work. Specifically by 9 on the offensive rebounding side of things specifically. It's never going to happen. We are going to get beat up day after day after day if this is what each game looks like, especially on the rebounding side of things. Our next game is the 26th in 2 games in Charlotte. And, well, if you gamble, bet on LaMelo to score a lot because I don't know if this defense is going to show up for this Miami Heat team. And LaMelo Ball is simply balling after his first game. Massive performance last night for the Charlotte Hornets. But again, that'll be it for this episode of Heat Digest. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.